Welcome to another exciting edition of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr-Magazine.
To anybody new to the channel, I'm Papergoy. I'm a one-man band who sells out of his house, got 40,000 items on eBay and Amazon, and I have a day job, and I give you the perspective of that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Mr-Magazine with 15 employees, a big warehouse, and 500,000 items online.
And we got something dangling behind me over there. It is a price. You really don't have to move it.
Maybe you had two. Yeah, well, why am I moving?
It's a price tag. So do you know what we're doing a show about today?
Price tags.
Yes, collectible price tag. No, you'd be amazed how much they go for. No, we're actually doing on pricing strategies, how you decide what to charge on eBay based off of what your research shows you.
Okay.
So I know you've got some employees, so why don't you quickly go through what you do, and I know not everything, a box of magazines comes in. We'll just use that as an example because you are Mr. Magazine.
All right.
So a box of magazines comes in. It's got 100 magazines in it.
All right.
What do you do and how do you distribute, and what do the employees do once they receive it?
Well, I would separate them by title most likely or value. So it depends on what it is. So if it's all Time magazines,
It's a mixed lot, let's say.
Mixed lot. So if there's any run-of-the-mill stuff that I think I can get 15 or more for, I put it aside for one employee that does $15 to $25 items.
And what does that employee do as far as research goes?
That employee doesn't do much research at all. It's all average stuff, common stuff. A lot of competition. We'll put it in an auction and put it into the store, and generally it'll sell in the store at some point with an offer.
So that would be Motor Trend, Time Magazine, Common Time magazines, like that, Better Homes and Garbage.
You got it.
A little shout out to a subscriber who always used to call it that. Better Homes and Gardens magazines.
I call them common titles when they come in because I pay very minimal for them. I have a lot of them. I probably don't need to buy more yet. I can't refuse a good deal, so I end up buying more.
Yep. So you mean like that July 1998 Family Circle?
Exactly. So generally, but that employee will see if there are any on eBay that we have any available. If it's a duplicate on eBay, then we'll put it on Amazon. If it's a duplicate on Amazon, then we'll set it aside maybe for our website.
Well, let me ask another question, which wasn't something I was going to ask, but are there any, leaving condition out, everything is in average condition. There's nothing torn, rip covers, anything, whatever.
Yep.
Average condition. Are there any titles that you do not list?
At all?
Yes.
Well, let's see. High Times we cannot put on eBay, so it would eliminate.
Is that still the way it is?
As far as I know, I haven't heard anything else. I'm sure people still put them on.
Yeah, they are on
until,
there.
Until I get the green light, I'm not going to take chances, especially the way eBay is nowadays. But that would, like a High Times, will go right to Amazon because you are allowed to put that on Amazon.
So the titles that are questionable on eBay, you would move over to another site. But what about, I don't know, Smithsonian, National Geographic, some of those?
I would not purchase National Geographics unless it was thrown in as part of a deal or if it was early stuff. And I still would give it to the employee because, surprisingly, we've gotten donated free National Geographics from the 80s, let's say. And it's a little box. I'll say, oh, just get these on. I know it's junk. We got them for free, and they will sell because no one else lists them because everyone has that mindset that they're junk.
So every magazine other than something like High Times that for whatever Easy Ride or whatever reason that eBay will not allow, those you would list elsewhere. But otherwise, every magazine in some level of condition is listable and worth listing on eBay.
Sure.
With your strategy.
We have success with any titles. I mean, I'll take a chance and say, hey, like the Carousel magazines or the Bonsai, maybe I have 100 of them. We won't list 100 yet. We'll list 20 or 30. If they sell, then we'll knock the rest out.
And it's funny you say that because are you familiar with, and I'm going to mispronounce it, but Lapidaria Journal?
I have seen, I've had some of those.
Yeah. I've actually got a pile of them, 12 of them, I think, for $5. And I said, how do I not buy them at that price?
Yeah.
And then I looked on there, and a lot of people are selling them for $6, $7 a piece. And I said, I can't make any money at that. So I listed mine at 20, but I did the listing with the table of contents. I went through the table of contents, used some good keywords, and I think I've sold 3 out of the 12 at my $20 price range, which is more than anybody else is asking.
Yeah.
But it's a better listing than anybody else's.
Right.
Okay, so you've got the 100 magazines in there, and you've taken 75 of them and weeded them over to one employee to do bulk listing. Now you've got the other 25, and you didn't do any research up to this point. It's just knowing that a September 9th, 1998 Sports Illustrated is a common title, a common issue, And it's got a mailing label, and it's going to go to
his
him.
knowledge would just be no table of contents unless they're over 25, which very rarely he gets those, or I would put a post-it on specifics for that I want him to describe. But say, you're going to list, there's a Lamborghini on the cover, or there's a Claudia Schiffer, so he would know who's on the cover, list those. That's good enough for me. We buy them for pennies on a dollar. Let's move them out and list them.
Okay.
Anything that's more detailed, say you got...
All right, so you've got 25 items left in that box,
Yep.
and those are what you've deemed to be better items.
Right.
And
25 or more, I think we can get for them.
Right, and you've deemed that off of your experience.
Correct.
Yes. Either you've never seen them before, or you've had them before and they've gone for good money, or
just a celebrity on the cover that I know.
Kiss on the cover.
Yeah, any Kiss or 1980s Madonnas, anything like that. I know it's better. Early fashion. Would go to another employee who does 25 to hundreds of dollars in magazines, but then she would be using Terapeak, or say there's a 1980s Teen Beat magazine with 20 celebrities on the cover. Well, the $15 employee may not know who's the best 2 or 3 to use. This person's been doing it longer, knows these celebrities. I can trust her that she's going to put on the most popular celebrities for the money, or Terapeak it to get maximum profit out of that.
So you do things a little bit differently than I do. What a surprise.
Shocking.
I Terapeak most items. I do not Terapeak, I guess, what you would call the common items. I don't Terapeak either. I don't go and take a look at Motor Trend magazines when those come in. And I probably am leaving some money on the table by not doing that, because there might be a June 1976 that is a good one.
Right.
I deal in those reluctantly, and I don't pay anything for them, and thus I'm happy making any sale out of those.
Ooh, I have a good one for you. I want to test you now. Do you collect Captain Britain comics?
Number 10 or number 12? Mystique, is that who's in it?
It's number 8.
Number 8. That was close.
But I didn't. But do you collect them?
I do not.
Thank God. All right, I can get to sell this.
Except that number.
So I had a bunch of sci-fi horror magazines, the larger comics and stuff, and Captain Britain's. This was from the Ohio Deal's friend that collected the same type of stuff. So I'm like, I'm just going to give these to, Captain Britain. He's not any good. I give these to the $14.95 employee, list them, and I get a bunch of emails. What will you take for issue 8? I go, issue 8. Someone offered me $50. I think it had a bid of 20. It was up to 20. And, within hours or overnight. Well, it's a $1,000 raw comic book now. Graded. It is a high grade. It could be up to $5,000. And then the next issue is decent because it's her second appearance. And so I guess issues 1 through 10 are all early Captain Britons. They're all good. So I ended them. And I'm going to get them graded. But you live and learn. I did not know that, and now I do.
See, that's the advantage of doing the auction first.
Exactly.
If you had handed them to your employee and you said put $20 a piece on them, figure shoot for the moon on them, you would have sold number 8 immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is, again, you're a volume seller, so you can't necessarily look at everything.
Right.
Here's how I handle it on anything other than the truly, what I feel to be truly common issues. I'll take it and I will go on Terapeak. And I will take a look at what it's sold for. And here's the crazy thing about it. As you begin to look at Terapeak more and more, you recognize certain people's listings. That, for example, obviously I can tell your listing because of your date code. There's a gentleman on the East Coast that we both know that asks high prices on his things. I recognize his listings. There's a third person who, by clicking on listings throughout the years, I recognize his listings. You're not my competition, nothing personal.
Thank you.
On those kind of items, you list them not as well as I do, and again, nothing personal. Right. You're more of a volume seller. The gentleman on the East Coast is not my competition because he does not have good listings and he has very, very high prices. The third person is not my competition because he has prices in the middle, but he's only got like 99% positive. And when you read his negatives, it's all about, the magazine he sold me was in way worse condition, no communication, this, that. So I do not view him as my competition because I provide better customer service than he does. So then what I would do in that case, I would throw the high-priced guys list, and this is for active. Obviously, when I take a look at the sold listings, and I look at the sold first, I look at the sold to try to get keywords. Why did something sell? What is in there that people have sold it on before?
Right.
And when I see somebody that had it up for $6.40 plus $2.80 shipping, I completely discount that.
Right.
I said, they just put that up and they probably paid $1 for it, sold it for $9. They sent it media mail, which you're not supposed to do. It was a sale, but it's not a real sale. I'm not going to take that into account whatsoever when I'm pricing the item myself. So then I go through and see who else sold it. Oh, the high price guy did sell one for $75. Okay, so the market's been established that it could go for $75 with a bad listing. Who else has sold it? Where else is it? And then I take a look in there and say the high price guy has one at 75, still active. Mm-hmm. You have one at 25, and the middle guy has one at 35. I'm going to look through there and I'm going to say, how can I get mine priced at $50 with a good listing? Because I think 50 is very fair on this. Mm-hmm. And it's still under the high-priced guy. Right. But the other two people, you and the other gentleman, aren't really my competition because you're not really who I'm going against. Sure. Now, obviously, if I go on there and I see 14 of them are listed, I'm going to rethink my thoughts, and I'll probably price it at $21 or something other like that because it's a common issue. There's a lot of them out there. Yeah. But that's where using Terapeak, but not immediately believing what Terapeak tells you. Because, yes, the issue is the issue. I mean, you're asking 25, the one guy's asking 33, and the other guy's asking 75. Mm-hmm. They're all the same to the issue that I have. Right. But what can I bring to the table to justify getting $50 out of it? Yeah. So I do the research on it, and then I say, yes, I can get $50 out of it because I'm putting a picture of Joe DiMaggio up, which nobody else has a picture. They may not even mention Joe DiMaggio, and so on. So that's how I end up using Terapeak. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different ways to do research. Do use Terapeak. It definitely is a good tool. Of course, if you can't find it on there, let me ask you that. You've got an item on there that's not on Terapeak. None of them are on eBay. Yep. What do you instruct, or how do you have your specialist price it?
And even that would depend. So, say it was an early 1900s, turn of the century, I would just throw $50 or $100 on it, just because it's so old. If it's fashion, which a lot of the foreign fashions aren't going to be on there, probably the same thing, $50 to $100. But generally, I would say $50 minimum. If it's the only one. I mean, you could check Amazon, you could check other sites, and it's the only one on the planet for sale. I have taken offer anyway, so it doesn't hurt if I can put $100 up on there and take 80. Mm-hmm.
See, and I'll do, because I'm a one-man band, I will do Google searches on it. I will do book searches on it. I will do, which does have, books does have magazines on there sometimes. Yeah. I'll do bookfinder searches. I will go across and beyond to try to find it because I said, okay, this has not been on eBay, and it's not a title that I've seen before. Mm-hmm. Is it a $30 item? Is it an $85 item? And you'd be surprised. Sometimes you can end up finding them on some oddball sites, and at least that way you've got an idea. Okay, this is available in Portugal for $28 plus the shipping. Okay, you add the shipping and it's a $50 thing. Right. I might price mine at $75 because there are no other ones on eBay. Yeah. But at least now I have a price that somebody doing the searching that I did can find it out there for $50. For the ease and the convenience, they can pay me $75 for it or make me an offer of $50 on it. Yeah. I especially end up using books a lot on books because they sell books, but also because a lot of times, a lot of the books are not available on eBay. So what I end up doing in that case is I'll sit there and I'll sort through until I get a general idea of what the book is worth on books and how common it is on there also. Then I'll price it out on eBay at a little higher than the average price on books, all other things taken into account. Does mine have a jacket, not have a jacket, et cetera, et cetera. But if it's a $45 book on books, I might be pricing it at $55 on eBay. Just because I'm the only one on eBay at that point.
You don't think Abe is very high because they're specialized and they may get the price of a higher priced item where you may not? Because I did have an incident where that did happen. Remember that early turn of the century baseball book? Mm-hmm. They were the only ones online that had it. It was from 1800s. And theirs was, I think, in great condition. They wanted $10,000 for it. So let's price, and ours was probably fair to good, maybe. And we priced it out at $1,500. Months go by, $1,000. People are offering me $200-300. Months go by, $800. So I think we end up selling it for $500. But it's something where if they had one in that condition, they probably would have $5,000 on it. Either never sell it, or someone would buy it from them,
because
wouldn't
they're
pay it
known
from
for the
us.
books.
Exactly.
Right.
And it was a consignment, so I felt that that was what it was worth. I gave 6 months, to sell it for a high price. It didn't work, so that was a fair market value at that time.
It's actually a really good question you have there. My thought on that is, I know what I paid for the items, and so then a lot of it will depend upon how long it's, just like you, depend upon how long it's up. Obviously, if it's been up since 2018 and I'm asking $120 off my 8 books research, and you're offering me $60 on it, and I'm taking a look at it, and I'm saying, yeah, let me take a look at the condition. Let me take it. Something? I paid $1 for that. I'm happy getting $60 out of it. Or there are other times when I'll look at it and I'll say, no. That I don't care. It's still got to be such a rare book. And that's where the multiple pictures help too. I will click on the pictures and I'll say, that's better than that because it's got this kind of illustrations in it. It's got chromolithographs. No, I'm not selling that for $60. Come back in 2-3 years and I probably will, but right now, no, I still am going to hold out for more. And even if I did sell it at $60, I'm still making money because I paid $1 on it. But that is a good question, and that does come into it factored. And that guy could have been shooting in the dark. He could have had no idea whatsoever and just said $10,000 because it's a very rare early baseball book.
Great condition baseball book. Sure, why not?
So a lot of times you'll see one of an item on 8 books, and they're asking $285. I might ask $250 in that instance. But it also, at that point, if you only find one on a rare book site.
When you guys are making the price on the market too, now there's a second one. Just like Amazon's the same thing. Some guy could have $1,000 on an item. Next person puts $800 and $700, maybe $600 is the real price.
And I guess the key in that case is at least do the research where I know it's a $280 book on 8 books. So I'm not pricing it at $12 because it's better than a $12 book.
Exactly.
The expectation is, and maybe I'm wrong. And maybe in 7 years I sell it for the $12 when I'm sick of looking at it and tripping over it. But hopefully that helps you a little bit there with how to do research. Research is key, and my sales have increased considerably since I started doing a fair amount of research. Now eBay makes it a lot easier now with Terapeak. That wasn't around before. I think it was been around about 2 years now, free as part of the eBay package. Have definitely been using it. Back in the day, I treated nearly everything the way that you treat the things that you hand to the $15 to $25 blister. I would literally just simply go, January 1962, True Magazine, Loch Ness Monster, $15.
That's it,
January 1963, True Magazine, Sasquatch, $15. And on to the next one picture, no table of contents, et cetera, and I would get the $15 out of it or a $10 offer out of it, and I would sell more volume than I am now out of those kind of deals, but I was leaving a lot of money on the table. So definitely do your research. You'll find out that it pays dividends without a doubt whatsoever. Do hit the like button if you haven't down below. Comment down below how you end up doing research. Definitely like to find out what you do. Maybe we'll pick up some good ideas. I'm not beyond stealing your ideas.
Thank you.
Their ideas either. You're not the only one watching this channel, believe it or not. We're up high enough. We're no longer on the friends and family plan. Thank you very much. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.